Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And as you can see by the title of the video, this is gonna be my version of WWE 2K25. It's gonna be a multiple part episode or different parts. I will explain my version of WWE 2K25 as we speak of the making of this video. WWE2K are doing their motion capture of the WWE2K25, and we don't know who is going to be on the roster for WWE2K25. There are some questionable people who I think may or may not be on there, but due to a certain thing that has happened on Spotify, I will talk about that on a different episode. There are certain characters that I think may be on the next game, and maybe even still be in the real wrestling in WWE. But let's move on to my version of WWE 2K25. And well, I'm going to reveal to you who I think should be on the WWE 2K25 poster. Who should be on the front cover. And well, I'm going to give you some clues, but if you don't get it from the clues, it's going to be very interesting. He's one of the most electrifying people in sports entertainment and in all of entertainment in general. He's a member of the OI family. He's a former WWE champion and a future Hall of Famer. And then, do you think you know who it is yet? Because I can tell you this, it doesn't matter what you think, because my pick for the WWE 2K25 front cover is the final boss, The Rock. That's right, I've chosen The Rock here. Now, this edition, obviously, on my poster is for Xbox Series X and Series S, due to the fact that that is the console that I own. However, it'll be on the others like Steam and, of course, PlayStation 5, maybe even on PlayStation 4 as well. But yeah, it'll be on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and even on Steam. However, my version is going to be the most electrifying version ever. Now, what game modes are going to be on this game? Well, is what you're thinking. Well, let's take a look at those in just a bit. But I want you to let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that The Rock is a perfect fit? Due to the fact that, in real life, he's just recently come back at WrestleMania. He's had a match. He's even won at WrestleMania 40, helping Roman Reigns, beat Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40, and he's made many other appearances as well after WrestleMania. Definitely a future Hall of Famer. His dad is a Hall of Famer himself, and so is his grandmother. And he inducted his grandmother into the Hall of Fame this year. And with all that being said, everybody knows who The Rock is. Like, if you ask a non-wrestling fan, if you are a non-wrestling fan, if you've come across this because you're watching my channel, then if I was to ask you, can you name me a wrestler? A lot of the time, people are going to say The Rock. They might say Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and many more, like Randy Savage, or even Triple H. But in the end, I would like to think that The Rock's name would come up for a lot of people if I was to ask them to name a wrestler. And he's a well-known personality anyway. And so, with that being said, that's just my pick for the WWE 2K25 front cover of my version of it, at least. So, let's move on to the game mode, shall we? And the first game mode that you're going to see on your title screen is quite obviously the play mode. Now, play mode is self-explanatory and it's quite simple, really. It's just a game. It's the game mode that everyone goes into to play a match of any kind. And it's all down to you, really. Yeah, whether you want to do a normal singles, one-on-one match, a tag team match, a triple threat match, a fatal four-way match, or a multi-man match, like a six-man, eight-man, or even a Royal Rumble. I will give you back the tournament modes that everybody loves, the King of the Ring matches, tournaments as well. There'll be plenty of matches to choose from in my version of WWE2K25. Multiple arenas like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all of the pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania 40 as well, and some classic pay-per-views that you unlock in different game modes, which I will talk to you about in just a second. And there'll be some new updated ones that I will keep locked, like the NXT, some of the modern day NXT ones, the Great American Bash ones. Just in another one that I've got ready planned for you to see in just a moment. But yeah, it's play mode. It's quite simple. Very, you could do Randy Orton versus John Cena, The Rock versus John Cena. You can do Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. So yeah, whatever match you want to do, it's there. But I will now go on to the next game mode. And of course, the next mode is Showcase mode. Now, I will admit, some of the Showcase modes that we've gotten over the years have been really good, and some of them have been right down awful. Especially when they changed up the format. Not with my version. You're not going to get this cut away from real life scenes, in-game footage. The only time you will get that is at the beginning of it, hyping up whatever match it will be, and at the end to fade away to move on from the end to the beginning of the next match. And of course, the star of the show is the guy that's on the front cover, based off of what we've had in the past. Even though we had WrestleMania, 40 years of WrestleMania, but the year before that we had John Cena, and the year before that in 2K22 we had Rey Mysterio. So, yeah, I'd like to say having The Rock here back as his own personal showcase mode, and going based off of the ones that you can see on the picture, it will be going through the line of history based off of the roster that you get on the game and legends that you can unlock. So, yeah, with the first start with the Rocky Maivia, I will be happy to throw in his match when he became the Intercontinental Champion for the very first time, when he faced Triple H. So you can unlock that arena where it took place, and of course Hunter Hearst Helmsley, that version of Triple H, the Blue Blood Triple H. That would be a cool match to have. Going on to when he became The Rock, I might even give you The Rock versus Mankind at the Royal Rumble. That will be a very good in the I Quit match. Introducing the fact that I brought back the I Quit match. There might be some scenes in there that have to be taken out because it was so brutal, and take away the less amount of chair shots, obviously. But that'll be my version. Anyway, to make it a bit more realistic, and we have had that match, in previous games before, so it's easy enough to recreate that in order to unlock Mankind and his persona and the other personas for Mick Foley. Then a little bit later on, we can have The Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18. And maybe even have Backlash, where since Goldberg has signed a Legends deal again, we can have Goldberg versus The Rock at Backlash 2003, 2002. So that's another one I can throw in there. And as most recently, since that Eric Rowan has re-signed with WWE, and we have had, you know, the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt brought into it now to honor the memories of Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. I would happily, if it was me, put Luke Harper in WWE2K25 because no one owns the rights to his likeness, and since it wasn't an in-ring death, and his wife and children would be happy to have his memory live on in a WWE 2K video game, or any wrestling video game for that matter, he will be in it too because he was at ringside for the match at WrestleMania where The Rock beat him in 8 seconds. So that could be a moment that's in that showcase mode, showing off the most recent version of The Rock. And obviously, you can have the 2 Rock versus John Cena matches that we had. And of course, ending up with the last match that he was in most recently at WrestleMania 40, where it could be The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. That's where it will end up. Plus maybe a bonus silly little match of having The Rock versus his alter versions of himself, because it is a video game after all, where you can have Rocky Maivia versus The Rock, The Rock 95 or something, or whatever that was, 99, The Rock 2000, The Rock 2015 and 2016, and The Rock 2023 and The Rock 2024 in like a little Rock Battle Royal with the final boss version there as well. Just like all games, you'll unlock different variations of The Rock. That will be cool for a showcase mode if you ask me. But yeah, all the cutscenes will be in-game like the good old days, because my god, it was great. There'll also be, and there'll be no need to pause it, because it'll be in the corner of how, if you like, where it will come up, weaken mankind's head, put it into yellow, do it that way, like it was in WWE 2K. I'd like to say 2K18 or 2K16. No, not 2K16. That was Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you get my drift. I think it was 2K14 where he had The Rock versus Mankind at the Royal Rumble. I think it was WWE 13 actually. My bad. But you get the point. That you'll have the objectives in the corner. It's very like small, so you can still focus on the match. But it tells you, how to do it in the corner as well. You wouldn't need to pause it. If you want to make it bigger, you just press the back select button, as I like to call it, and it will come up, and you can still fight in the match. But yeah, that is showcase mode, ladies and gentlemen, with The Rock going throughout the years. You'll have quite a selection of matches to go through. It won't be a slugfest, but it'll be a right amount of matches so that you can enjoy it and unlock people that way. But as for the personas, though, for some of the other WWE superstars, we'll talk about the next mode. The next mode will be WWE 2K25 Tower Mode. Now, Tower Mode, it will act like the old Mortal Kombat games where you go through the tower and you face different people. Well, you'll be facing a whole bunch of wrestlers put in singles matches, tag team matches, but most of the time it's singles matches where you can unlock different personas. First things first, for example, in a minute I'm going to show you what the tower mode would look like. It'll either be a Raw background, a SmackDown background, or an NXT background, based on where the WWE wrestlers are represented in the roster in real life. But this is, or whether it should, or if you've changed it around in the game mode and saved it and put the superstars on Raw or SmackDown or NXT itself. So here's a few pictures of what it looks like. You've probably seen a couple already. And the last, there'll be like 10 wrestlers, and the last guy you face is the final boss, The Rock, because it's all based, WWE2K25 is based on, my version of it at least, is based around The Rock at least. And the fifth fight, though, the fifth match that you face, is a Persona version of a WWE superstar, because I will give people the chance to unlock these Persona cards, or even alternate attires, alter egos, all the things that WWE2K24 gave us, like the Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, the NWO Warpack versions, the Slim Jim version of the Macho Man, the action figures will be back, because they're just novelty items. So all of those things you have to unlock in my faction. Because Tower Mode will be replayable, there will always be something new added to the Tower Modes via our updates. Like we do in my factions in WWE2K24, they constantly give us new Persona cards in my faction, but instead it'll be Personas in general. So you'll get all the Personas that you have in WWE2K24, plus bonus ones that will be added down the line, and that'll be only to unlock them. You have to beat them in the fifth fight. So yeah, as you saw, that is basically the Tower Mode. It'll come up saying, "What up next? AJ Styles. Up next, Kevin Owens. Up next, Rey Mysterio. Up next, Jey Uso, and then finally up next, The Rock as the final boss, quite literally. Once you beat the Rock, he will do a little promo saying, "Congratulations, you've beaten the final boss, but you ain't seen the last of me, I'll be back." Referencing the fact that you will have to replay it to unlock more Personas. So, yeah, that's Tower Mode for you. My version of the WWE 2K Tower Mode. Because I know that we did have it in WWE 2K20, and we did actually have to unlock through that Tower Mode, like alternate silly little things. 2K20, yeah, it was glitchy and really bad, but that specific mode that I actually enjoyed myself. So that's why I'm also bringing it back for 2K25, except it'll be a little bit more polished and better. So yeah, that's Tower Mode. And the next one, of course, is going to be, quite simply, Universe Mode. Everyone loves Universe Mode, but the problem is the current day, the WWE2K Universe Mode that we've had for the last couple of years. Once you go into whether you want to play it, edit it, or delete it, or whatever, or start fresh over, it's already got Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all the pay-per-views there. And you have to go through all the bother of making whatever shows you want, and then you're like, by the time you finish that, you don't want to play that until the very next day, and you still want to play it, go through it, but you get to the point, oh my god, seriously, that took a long time. However, some people don't mind playing the Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, and that is what I'm going to give you. I will give you two options as soon as you start off your Universe Mode. Once you press play and start up a new one, it'll come up to a screen with two new, options. Option number one is preset mode, meaning that you'll go into the preset of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all the pay-per-views that go along with them. You can change them the way if you want, or you can leave that as it is. The other one will be a blank page mode. where you load it up and the calendar is empty. You can do whatever you want with it. You can once you put your roster up, you can do all the matches that you want, titles, Money in the Bank briefcases, everything you want. Show intros will be back. You can choose whatever commentary you want, whether you want Michael Cole and Corey Graves, or Joe and Wade Barrett, based off of, or whether you want Booker T and Vic Joseph. You can choose those commentary teams for whatever shows you want. Now they will be preset onto the shows that you have in play mode, but in universe mode, you get to choose the announcer, the commentators, everything will be available for you to choose. All of the shows will be unlocked once you've unlocked them, plus the ones that are on the base game, the default settings. And everyone on the roster will be free agents on that game mode. So therefore, giving you a choice if you want to have Raw and SmackDown, or in my case, Raw, SmackDown, WWE Legends, and CWA. And I will be able to make that up and import the roster from the options, which will be a different day to describe what that's all about. Trust me, it will be a very good feature. And so, yeah. And even if you've done the next mode, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a sec, you can even import that roster from that mode. So Universe mode will be a greater experience with being able to add promos, and a bit like a certain create story where you can add in your own text as well, meaning that it's no longer a default. You can have a default one promo, or you can add in your own text if you want to, but I'll get into that on a different day. But yeah, the universe mode and my version of it will be something you can do whatever you want. So you can play the matches, spectate the matches, and depending on the difficulty that you put the settings on, is how the AI will react. And I'll talk about the way certain AIs react in a different episode. But yeah, that's my universe mode. On to the next one. And well, the next mode is of course GM mode. Everyone loves general manager mode. And well, it'll just work like a combination of WWE2K25 did, which was very good, and there'll be secret commentary based off the superstars that you pick to go to certain shows like ECW, WCW, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, etc. But I will also bring back some of the aspects from SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 and 2007, some of the best work that we had back in the day. So you'll be able to assign your people to go and do autograph signings, meet and greets, go to a movie premiere, maybe take place in a movie. All that good stuff that we had back in the day will be back in my version of WWE2K25 General Manager mode. You're about to pick whichever superstars with the cost. You'll have settings in there where the cost can be unlimited. You can have, but in order to unlock the unlimited amount of cash in that GM mode, you have to play it once and win. By GM mode, you can play it. I will also do a GM mode where you can do it online with your friends, where the host gets to choose the roster and who we get to choose from. And not only that, but if you decide to, leave that in session for the day and say, hey, let's wrap it up for today, that will save in your GM mode, and if you want to go back to it with those very same friends, you can. There'll be you can have up to 2 to 3 brands to compete against. You can have local multiplayer as well, or you could play against the AI and play against the CPU. And it's at the end of the day, Triple H will do like Vince McMahon did back in the day, in the old days, general managers, and will get whoever you've chosen to be your general manager, whether it be Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman, some of them, Teddy Theodore Long, maybe even a custom character that you created yourself up to be the general manager, or completely, different general manager that has been general managers in the past, and including some that you have to unlock once you've done it a few times, like the secret ones like Hornswoggle when he was the revealed to be the unlimited Raw general manager. But yeah, that is all the benefits of the old games and even the newer games, where you can also play the matches if you want. There's also a lot of people that don't play the matches and they simulate it, so there's an option there. You can spectate it even. So yeah, my version of GM mode will be the combination of 2K23 and 2K24 mixed in with some of the stuff that you get from SmackDown vs. Raw and 2006 and 2007. And maybe a little bit of 2008 as well. So yeah, you're going to love my version of General Manager mode, trust me. But, going on from being a GM, for someone that will be your boss, and I'm not talking about the final boss, The Rock. Oh yeah. On to the next one. And finally, I will bring back a mode that classic WWE players have been wanting for a very, very long time, but 2K have not had the balls to bring it back. Instead, they gave us my rise and my career. That is going away for good. No more custom characters in scripted storylines. Yeah, I might think about, if it was me, I would probably hire a indie wrestler to voice your character. But at the same time, the good old days of just reading the text coming up of your character, but having the voiceovers of the real superstars happen, and because having a mute as your character, I will bring back the ability to walk around backstage. I will have the phone and laptop that you used to have in SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, 2009. And speaking of the backstage arenas, well, you will have general managers like office back, so you can walk in there and even ask for matches. And that person that's in that office will depend on the general manager, but mainly you can even walk to the gorilla position and talk to Triple H. And it will be the main guy that it's focused on is Triple H, the person that you create and put in this season mode, because it will be all about your creating that wrestler. It'll be about your core. It'll be your creating that wrestler, and you can. And here's the thing: there'll be the bonus, attribute points, and he'll be starting off as at least a 64, 65, and you will be able to, give him more attributes. Me personally, choosing it like that when you get the bonus ones in the pack, I might think about not giving people the attribute points so that they can do it quicker. Now, you have to work your way through the season mode, and there'll be different storylines. I will bring back the classic storylines of the interactions between superstars if it was real. Starting off with working at the Performance Center for a while, going through that, getting promoted to NXT. But depending if you do even better than that, you might get put into either Raw or SmackDown straight into the main roster. There will be path choices, branch paths that you can choose. Like if you win the World Heavyweight Championship before the Royal Rumble, then that means you won't get into the Royal Rumble match to try and headline WrestleMania. If you win the Intercontinental Championship or United States Championship, you'll go and do these open challenges and many more other things. You can also decide to turn heel or turn babyface throughout this season mode. And depending on these branch choices that you make, you will be the one in control of your superstar in season mode. Season mode will be replayable to every time. So you could create up many different superstars for whether it be a woman, there'll be two. There'll be either way unfair, female or male. You can, or just go through the same guy over and over again, or the same woman over and over again until you get the different branch paths. And yeah, season mode will be really like the old school season modes, and you will get different storylines. It'll be not an infinite amount, but a load of different stories that you can get depending on where you branch. Like, if you go to face the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, you can end his reign and then go on to WrestleMania to face the Royal Rumble winner. Maybe The Rock will offer you a chance to help the Bloodlines at Survivor Series to take on the OG Bloodline, and if you refuse, you might get beaten up by Solo Sikoa and company. And Roman will help you out, and Jay will help you out, and Jimmy will help you out. Or if you want to become a Paul Heyman guy, you can become a Paul Heyman guy. If you want to be, a person that kisses up to Triple H a lot, you can do that. So the branches of these different storylines will happen, and my version of 2K25 will be brilliant storylines. You will love it. Make friends, make rivals, become a tag team, become a part of a stable, betray the leader of that stable, betray your tag team partner, go for tag team gold, and try and become two separate singles champions as well. The stories will be unlimited. So yeah, there you have it. That's my version of WWE 2K25. But there's going to be more episodes to come. I will probably go in depth of what type of creation suite I would have in play, what type of options you can do, what the graphics will be like, what the rough roster will be like. But yeah, let me know in the comments. What did you think of this episode of the introduction of my version of WWE 2K25? Do you like the idea of being general manager mode mixed with the two general manager modes that we've had in the past? Did you like the idea of my universe mode? Do you like the idea of my season mode, my showcase mode, and even the tower mode? Let me know in the comment section below. And would you buy this game? And yeah, and did I choose the right person for the cover of WWE 2K25? Or do you think you have someone better in mind? Let me know. And until next time, goodbye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then feel free to subscribe. If you want to watch the previous video, then click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the playlist that's on the right.